Hi, Maz. How are you?
Hi, Sabina. I'm doing great. Welcome to another episode of Who Moved My Marketing?
I know. This is so exciting. And we have a great topic for you guys today, and that is AI and its effect on marketing organizations. And this has come about because of all of these latest announcements of these corporations laying off their marketing organizations and replacing them with AI. I don't know about you, Maz, but I am freaked out. I don't know if I need to go back to school and find another profession.
You don't need to go back to school. You're perfect the way you are. We just have to figure out what actually AI means to customers, means to the clients, means to the organizations that are implementing in a way that it actually makes sense for all of us.
I completely agree. I have embraced AI in the best possible way. It has helped me as a business owner myself get to that next level. But what's really scaring me is that, Intel just announced that they're outsourcing their marketing to AI via Accenture. Microsoft cut over 9,000 jobs, sales and marketing, heavily because of the AI push. Meta, Google, all kind of slashed marketing jobs because AI is becoming their core strategy. Oh my gosh. However, I think there is a space for AI. I just don't think that we should be getting rid of our or our marketing organizations because of AI. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that, there's a lot of things about AI that I really love. I think that, that the efficiency, the speed, the cost benefit that comes with AI is unquestionably remarkable. And I cannot wait till we see more capabilities that are added or layered on top of everything we do in marketing so that we could do some really cool, innovative, crazy, amazing things where all of our customers not only see that as us doing a better job in terms of educating them about what it is that the company or the products team provide to their customers, but make the customer journey as enjoyable as possible and shorten the time to revenue from the time that we actually kick off a campaign. So I think those are all huge benefits. But notice that I said it would be layered on top. And I didn't say
Yes.
that it would completely kick out the marketing and replace it with a AI driven AI solution for everything. And I do believe in that. I strongly believe in that. And I think there's some examples of, for instance, what happened at Intel that we can talk about as well. But I think you, like me, were pretty surprised to see that a company like Intel would farm out their entire marketing or almost their entire marketing organization to a third party.
I completely agree. And I think, this is where we have to really understand the core of AI and what this means when it comes to bringing this into the organizations. And I feel like, if you understand AI, it's about data. It's about data analysis. It's about understanding and finding correlations within your data. And I'm talking very scientific here. I get it. But it's about what is already out there. It's not about anything new. It's not new, innovative, creative. It is coming up with answers that have already been proven and or tested. So the answers we're getting isn't anything that we can't find ourselves, I guess is the question, right? When you're talking about innovation and creativity and understanding something new, something that gives that competitive edge, I don't believe AI is there yet. I'm not going to say here that AI won't get there. I don't know if it will or not. Time will tell. But at this moment in time, it is not there. I don't think it's there yet. How about you?
Yeah, I think some of the things that I found was sort of offensive to me is what when I learned about the Intel's announcement, I kind of started digging into it a little bit. I was really surprised about some of the things that they said. They talked about, yeah, they were looking for using AI to improve their digital capabilities, which makes perfect sense. But they said they're doing it to serve their customers better and strengthen their brand. Well, I'm not exactly sure if AI is is the tool that would strengthen the brand. And they also talked about using AI to do a better job connecting with customers, and that raised all kind of flags for me as well. I don't believe the problems that Intel was having has to do with connecting with the customers. It was about products. It was about sort of their competitors making the right decisions in terms of seeing what the future demands will be for GPUs and AI capable tools and solutions that Intel didn't plan for. But to basically say, okay, it was because marketing wasn't moving fast enough or wasn't making decisions fast enough. To me, that doesn't make a
It's
lot of
always
sense.
marketing's fault, though, Baz, right? We've
Of
heard this
course,
for our whole careers. It's always marketing's
of
fault, right?
course.
No, but it's funny you say that because, you know, increasing your customer brand or your customer support, making that better. I don't know if you remember, and of course, I'm aging myself at this point, but the telemarketer and or, the automated kind of customer support line that you would call into, and eventually you would get to that point of, if you want to talk to somebody, please, select zero. And even to this day, I'm constantly pressing zero, or I keep saying representative, representative, or operator, operator. I want to talk to somebody. And I still think that that is the way it is today, even with AI. I don't believe that AI can actually replace that human touch, that empathy that you need for building those relationships with your customers. I just don't see it. Not yet. I mean, I think I told you this story where I had an SDR actually kind of duped me. I never thought that that would actually happen. Knowing all the tricks in the trade, I was having a full on conversation with an AI bot in LinkedIn before I actually got connected to a real person. And that literally threw me off. I completely got, disinterested, and she lost my trust completely.
Because
And
you
I said,
thought the AI SDR was a real person you were communicating to.
I thought the AI SDR was an absolute person on the other side. And when I got connected face to face, that SDR had no idea about our conversation. She didn't really. Now, that might have been the issue with the SDR herself, in the sense that she may not have
Yeah.
done the research that she was supposed to do and actually be prepared for the meeting. But if you are relying on an AI agent to do some of these automated tasks for you, again, it goes back to that human touch. You need that human touch to be able to build that relationship. And she lost my trust, and she lost the deal. She lost the deal for
Yeah.
me. And I said, sorry, I don't want to talk to you anymore. So there is that. I think it's just not there yet.
Yeah, I think we definitely agree that there are certain things that AI does really well, and we know what those things are. It accelerates certain capabilities. I think in the content space, we could all agree that AI has been amazing. It's really been short of miraculous to be able to kind of do everything that we do, accelerate it, compare and contrast, and so definitely add a lot of value in that area. But when it comes to things like customer relationships and trust and being able to connect the brand to the audience that is a really curated experience. I think those are some things that we haven't seen good examples of AI being able to replace humans, and marketing is a great representative of sort of the customer facing, human facing part of the organization. And if you're going to replace that with AI, just be straightforward about it. Just say we're doing it because of cost savings. We're doing it because we're
Yeah.
looking for efficiency. But when you start talking about, we're doing it because we want better human connections, excuse me, that's the domain of humans. And so and there's I think I've given you examples of this, is that if I'm in a call and I will hit it off with someone because they say they've been somewhere, or they've done something, or they went to a restaurant and tasted something that I happen to like as well, and we both kind of hit it off. I'm not really interested in understanding what AI had for dinner last night or where they went on vacation because I know that's not there. It's never going to happen. So I think
No.
those are kind of the human connections that I think really is something that humans are very good at, and we need to kind of rely on that, lean on it as best as possible. But I want to go ahead and move on to another aspect of sort of where all of this is heading, and that is, where do you believe, the differentiators for AI will come from? What are some of the things that you feel AI is going to sort of do better and we should trust it to do better? And where do you feel that, or do you feel that that is something that, for instance, we can focus on if we are doing strategy, or do you feel that that's something that's still way out there?
So, I don't think it can actually do strategy. I think it can give us ideas. Where I feel like AI is going to be a game changer in helping, someone from a growth marketing side or from a demand gen side, even from, a full go to market, is to understand the actual data behind your campaigns and behind the numbers. And what I mean by that is, what is the goal? The goal is to constantly increase your customer lifetime value. What is your CLV? And working backwards. So AI can actually help me do those numbers for me. I don't have to do them myself. I don't have to go through a spreadsheet. I don't have to go through other tools. I think AI can really take that time of me trying to figure out what's working and what's not, that can cut in half. I also believe that AI can help me figure out ways to reach out to my customers, but I don't think that it can give me innovative and differentiating ways of doing that because it's pulling from data that my customers or that my competitors have already done and or I have already done. So there's no kind of differentiating factor there, but it can help me figure out what budgets do I need, justification for creating the strategy that I want. It can maybe help me with my skeleton of a strategy, but my ideas need to be reflected in those strategies. That's how I feel. What about you?
Yeah, I actually do feel right away some of the areas that because of my demand gen and growth marketing background, one of the areas that I focus on is the day that I can actually personalize my campaigns so that my target audience, let's say that there are 1,000 people that are going to be in my target audience, that each one of those individuals is going to get a very personalized message that is targeting their specific pain points. So the content for every person who receives that message is going to be differentiated or different. That even includes the content of the video that's going to be attached to that email, let's say, that each person is going to be something that is being updated or it's dynamically changed on the fly. And if that particular person forwards that email to someone else, that we have the ability to be able to track and be able to go ahead and update the content for that individual as well. I mean, we're still, not quite there yet, but I do think that the ability to scale, to your point, based on the existing data, it is hard for humans to do, but it's easy for AI to be able to pull from all these different tools and systems that we have available, and to be able to build something unique and differentiated, I think is awesome. And that I think is the domain of AI. Give it throw as much data as you can at it and tell it to do something that's different and faster and unique in terms of its implication or its implementation and operation. And you've got something that's really fantastic. But I agree with you that from a strategic perspective, I think we still got ways to go. Now, I spoke to someone who's an AI expert, Thomas Smith, who was at our EM marketing community meeting. And I asked him about doing strategy with AI. And one of the things that he said that I think makes a lot of sense is that there are things that you could do that is really unique and interesting, but it takes a lot of work. So a typical prompt for something that can tell you about, a plan that you could implement with your company's voice, a company's brand, based on the conversations that the CEO has had in the past, the product positionings, the customer feedback. And if you collect all of this data, you may be talking about 30 to 50 to 100 pages of content in order for the tool, the AI tool, to be able to respond with something that is somewhat interesting. Now, it's not going to be totally differentiated necessarily, but it's going to be sort of curated to your particular customer needs or your particular company's personality or culture. And I think those things are coming, and I think there may be some improvement in that area, but I still don't know if it's going to be something that is unique to humans, and that is to create something, a strategy that has never been done before, that a business model that is completely differentiated. I am still waiting for that.
Well, we are out of time. We wanted to keep these short. So we are going to promise you guys that we will come back. And this is not a topic that we are just going to do once and be done with. We are going to come back and talk more about this. We believe that this is a big one. So stay tuned for our next episode, and we will talk more about if this is to be continued. Please put in the comments if you have any questions, if you have any kind of take on how AI is affecting your marketing organization. We would love to hear about it. We would love to bring that up in our next episode or so. But Maz, I think we're going to have to sign off for now.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sabina.
Thanks, Maz. We'll talk to you all very soon.